Good evening from Sweden, and welcome to today's topic, which will be about what is a miracle. So, a miracle is not something that seems so far out as it may sound. It doesn't have to be a burning bush, so to say. A miracle is simply just a shift from darkness to light, from fear to love, as the Course in Miracles says. And it is as simple as that, but that doesn't mean that it's always easy. So when it is that we are in our everyday lives and we say that I don't see the smoke of any miracle at all, and we just go through our day the same way as always, and nothing seems to change, it is not because that the outside haven't changed that we don't experience the miracle. It is simply because that we haven't understood how to perceive a miracle. You know, there are so many miracles during the day if we just think of it. Like, think of your own body, for example. You have eyes to see with, your hair grows, you have taste buds, your heart beats all by itself, and you are able to walk. Maybe you're not able to walk, but you have always the potential to be able to walk. You know, there is so many miracles around us all the time. You know, the sun is rising every day. The universe works all by itself. You know, there are babies being born all the time. The grass is growing, and the whole ecosystem is working in perfection, and that is a miracle, if anything. It is like, but it's so huge, so we cannot comprehend it. But when we start to open ourselves up to the possibility of a miracle in every moment, and actually looking for a miracle, even when it's things that we take for granted, that is when life gets really interesting. It is easy to take things for granted. And in spirituality, very often we don't experience true spirituality before the things we are taking for granted are actually taken away from us some way or another. It can be horrible things that sometimes, unfortunately, needs to happen before we are willing to wake up and realize the beauty of life and what life really is about. Sometimes we have to experience deep tragedies in order to even be receptive to a new perspective that is more of what we can smell, see, taste, and touch. And I believe that we don't have to go to that extent and experience all these horrible things if we choose to seek seriously before that. So we seek up our own darkness, we seek up our own fears, and we choose to meet them before life comes at us in order to wake us up. And then you say, no, I don't want life to come at me. Maybe your personality don't want that. But if you are watching this video right now, there is something in you that seeks more than just the normal way of perceiving things. Otherwise, you would not watch a video like this. And it's maybe consciously or maybe it's unconsciously. But anyway, the soul's wish are not always the same wish as our personal wish. The soul's wish may be that you want to experience love, the greatest love of all, which is unconditional love. But in order to be able to experience unconditional love, maybe things need to happen. So you have to choose to forgive and love unconditionally, despite injustices. And it can be whatever, people are experiencing horrible, horrible things. But it is also people who experience horrible things and have chosen to perceive it with their spirit from a place of love, which when I say view it from their spirit, it means that they view it from love. They are the ones whose stories are still getting told today. So every day we have a chance to choose to grow and to wake up to life as it is. And when we wake up to life as it is, life can really show us how beautiful it is. But the problem is that before we can perceive a miracle, as this video is about, is that we need to wash away all the so-called stains. That means that we need to see through all our illusions. We need to see through all of ourselves. We need to really dig deep within us so we can be willing to not treasure what is false inside of us, which means that we don't treasure the ego, so that we can be open to the soul and to the will of God. So that is that is what the whole spiritual journey is about. And the more clean we get, the more we rip out our illusions, the more weeds that we are dragging out from the roots, the more we'll be able to blossom and to flourish within us of the spirit that we truly are. And that is when we are able to perceive miracles. And I know for myself that when I'm all busy in my head and I'm in fear and all of that, I'm not really able to actually see nature as it is, or pay close attention to the ones that I really want to pay close attention to, because I'm so up in my head. I need to be like what I said, like a clean slate. I need to not be all just up in myself and focusing on unimportant stuff. I need to be in alignment with myself in order to be in alignment with the things around me. And we have to remember that what we perceive in the outside is always a mirror of our inside. There is nothing out there and in here. It is all just a mirror how we experience the world. So you can experience heaven and hell on earth. You can live in a castle or you can live in a tent. It doesn't matter. You can experience hell in the castle and you can experience heaven in the castle, but it has nothing to do with the castle. And you can experience hell in a tent and you can experience heaven in a tent, but it has nothing to do with the tent. It has all to do with how you choose to perceive it. And there is no exception to that, according to what I believe in. I see in my own life that everything, and it doesn't matter what it is always about how I choose to perceive it. And I can be totally free, even though some things are happening at times, or has happened in my life, that you would say that I had the right to not feel freedom, but I have experienced that I can feel freedom and joy and happiness despite that things are not going at all in the way that I wished. So that means that freedom is within. And it also means that today I'm grateful for everything that has happened in my life, all the good and all the bad, but actually especially the bad, because I learned so much from it. I learned where true joy comes from. I learned where true freedom comes from. I learned about my own power, of what I can choose, of how I can choose to choose my own state. I can actually choose my own state despite what I'm going through. And I would never have experienced that if it wasn't for all the difficulties that has been in my life. Never. And I would never have been so hungry for spirituality either if I haven't felt so empty and alone in my life. So everything has always a deeper meaning. But the question is if we are willing to seek the meaning, or if we are just looking at the surface and judging it and miss what life actually wants to teach us. And are we willing to pay that price? And what is it really that we get instead? Is it of anything of true value? Personally, for me, I know that I don't have anything of true value besides what comes from the inside, what comes from God, what comes from the source of life, what comes from love. I know that anything that is not of that is not of true value for me and will not bring me happiness. But that is, yeah, I know that because I've seen through my illusions and I've done mistakes, so to say, or you can say I have experience in not following my inner voice also, and I know by consequence that that did not bring me happiness, it was just illusions. So we need experience, we need to do so-called wrong, but doing wrong are just there to make it right. So yeah. So in the end, can you really say that there actually is something that is wrong or right if what is wrong turns you to what is right or brings you to what is right? Right? It is. I actually don't believe anymore that there is anything as wrong as right, or as wrong or right. It just is. Yeah. Okay. I love you, and I wish you a beautiful day.